We are at the last presentation of the day. So this presentation is going to be about how XR can take on the workforce shortage. I'm going to introduce Nathan Pettyjohn. He's the commercial AR/VR lead for Lenovo and also the founder and president of the VR/AR Association. So give it up for Nathan.
All right, it's great to be here this evening. Thank you for being here, everybody. Tonight, I'm going to talk about how enterprise XR is taking on the workforce shortage. And it's a problem that's a lot bigger than most people realize. In fact, analysts are estimating that upwards of $1 trillion of economic lost output will be realized by 2030 due to this workforce shortage. So we're going to dive a little deeper into that topic and how that problem looks. We're also going to talk about how Lenovo is addressing it as part of our ThinkReality solution and what we call kind of the new XR spectrum, which consists of assisted reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality. Then we're going to deep dive into the ThinkReality A3, which is the new AR headset that I'm put on here that we announced at CES earlier this year. We think it's one of the most versatile AR headsets to hit the market, and as you can see, it's also quite portable to be able to fold up like this. So, it might surprise you to learn that 10,000 baby boomers are going to reach retirement age every single day for the next 19 years. So that's a massive shift in the workforce. We're also seeing that 50% of companies are experiencing this workforce shortage already to meet their current service demands. If we take a deeper dive and look at the manufacturing ecosystem, Korn Ferry, a consulting group, estimates that by 2030, we're going to see a deficit of almost 8 million workers. And as you can see, that leads to an economic output deficit of over $600 billion just in manufacturing alone. I would also add that a few weeks ago, I was in Chicago at the Services Council meeting, and I was in a room with some of the largest HVAC companies. They personally addressed that this was a very serious problem for them. They have thousands of workers that are retiring. It's harder for them to recruit new skilled workers and then train them. Sometimes it takes years to do so. So we see big opportunities in manufacturing and the service sector. It doesn't surprise anybody, I think, to know that the pandemic is exacerbating this issue. So here are a couple of headlines that I pulled just from the Wall Street Journal within the last month. The COVID-19 pandemic has boosted retirements among baby boomers, further straining the tight labor supply and leaving a hole for employers to fill. And then this one, 4.3 million workers are missing. Where did they go? So we can slice and dice that a lot of different ways, but we want to focus on what is the solution. And so as we look at the shifting workforce, we see that 75% of the global workforce is expected to be millennials just in the next couple of years by 2023. Now, while that can provide some relief, this new workforce is going to need time to upskill. It's also important to note that the new millennial generation entering the workforce, they don't know a world without digital in their personal lives and in their work lives. So this leaves a really great opportunity for us in this industry to implement AR and VR technology, which the new shift in the workforce expects. ThinkReality is Lenovo's brand for our enterprise XR solution. And that consists of 4 different pillars. Those 4 pillars we always focus on being flexible so that we can deliver exactly what the customer needs. We focus on it being scalable because these problems are big and they need to be able to scale. And they need to be highly secure. So these 4 pillars that we're focused on include modern hardware. That includes Lenovo's hardware, but also third-party hardware that we can sell and offer to our customers. It consists of a software platform of web services, so the ability to manage devices and apps and users, but we also integrate with some of the leading MDMs like Intune and AirWatch so that those investments that have already been made by the IT managers are not lost. This partner ecosystem has become much more important to us over the last year as we realize that we need to work with third-party application providers We need them to be able to put their apps on our devices and then them sell them to their customers. We're also looking at certified solutions where we can take those applications that kind of rise to the top and we can sell those through our network of sellers, which total in the thousands around the world for Lenovo. And then finally, the expert service. And that means more than just customer service and calling an 800 number for warranty support. It means systems integration. It means custom app development, content creation. And we're working with some of the leading systems integrators and consultants around the world to actually make this work for our customers. Now, we see the market opportunity as being really large still. Over $125 billion market opportunity by 2025. And within Lenovo, we see the market opportunity that we can address to be about $12 billion by 2025. Now, we're very focused on the enterprise sector right now. We view that in augmented reality, there are roughly 100 million plus frontline workers that can see productivity enhancements through augmented reality. In virtual reality, there's a few different areas of focus. One is education, and we have a very successful VR classroom solution right now that's already being deployed around the world. We're also focused on training across many verticals, and then, of course, some of the emerging collaboration tools where we've all been hearing the words metaverse, but these are virtual worlds where we can all collaborate, and we're focused on implementing those for customers as they request them. Now, there are some upsides for us that we look at in the long-term future. That's prosumer, it's gaming, it's B2C. But right now, we're very focused on enterprise solutions. So return on investment, of course, in the enterprise is very much watched. And these are all different areas that we're tracking with our customers. And we're seeing a lift in ROI on virtually all of them. But I think some of the key points to note here are that the warehouse is seeing 15 to 35% productivity gains in the order picking process. We're seeing error rates drop to nearly 0% in manufacturing. And then field service, we're seeing resolution times decrease by 30 to 40%, and many times much more than that. So how does this translate into kind of like a full, spectrum? There are many different verticals where we see value and areas of focus for us. We also know that there are a lot of different requirements to consider. So things like situational awareness. That means, like, do I need an unobstructed view of my world around me for safety reasons? Or is it that maybe 3D content is something that's far more important for me to view? And that'll affect the type of device that's used. What is the environment and how rugged does the device need to be? How portable does the device or the software need to be? Sometimes a lot of use cases involve being in a warehouse where the device doesn't need to be portable at all. In other cases, every single day it's in a new location. And so that allows us to also think about making sure that there's Wi-Fi connectivity, cellular 5G connectivity, closed 5G networks. And we're agnostic to the cloud environment because there are a lot of different needs when it comes to the cloud and content accessibility. So this translates into the tools, which are this AR/XR spectrum. And we view it as assisted reality. And Lenovo has partnered with RealWear, for example. We can offer RealWear monocular devices to our customers. But it's more than just that. We need to make sure that all the software applications are compatible and they work on the RealWear device. And that they also can work on the augmented and mixed reality devices like the ThinkReality A3 that I just showed a minute ago. In virtual reality, we've partnered with Varjo to deliver high-fidelity virtual reality. Those are also compatible with many of the Lenovo workstation devices. And then ThinkReality also has a 3 degrees of freedom all-in-one 4K device called the Mirage VR S3. And there's actually still a very big market for soft skill training with that device. And it's highly scalable and easy to implement for customers. So we think that this whole spectrum is very important to consider to solve some of these workforce challenges. And that translates into offering many different device types. A lot of people don't realize that Motorola is a subsidiary of Lenovo. So we can offer mobile phone only AR. We can also step that up into the ThinkReality A3 that tethers into Motorola devices for some really cool experiences that I'll show you in just a minute. Then, as I mentioned, Varjo and RealWear devices, the Mirage VR S3, which is in the bottom center here, And then the ThinkReality A3 also plugs into ThinkPads and gives a very cool virtual monitor experience for the office worker. Some of the key applications that we see being delivered include remote assistance, workflow support, and 3D workspace and design. And then, as I mentioned, we have certified applications that Lenovo has gone through very rigorous security testing, penetration testing, and we've verified compatibility with these devices, and then we'll take that to market and sell it to our customers. We also have other ISV partners where we're happy to make sure that they can resell our devices with their apps running on them. And then finally, delivering that through professional services so that it's fully implemented properly. Now let's shift and talk a little bit about the ThinkReality A3. This is a device that we launched and announced at CES, and we have fully commercialized it now. It's being shipped to 28 countries around the world, soon to be 40 countries. We think it's one of the most versatile AR glasses to ever hit the market, and a lot of that is due to our partnership with Qualcomm. The A3 has an XR1 chipset in the headset, and when you combine that with the dual fisheye cameras, the headset has spatial awareness, but it also tethers to the Motorola device, which generates the battery and it generates all the compute power. So what that results in is a very lightweight device that can actually tether into the Motorola phone, but also PCs. And in large part, that's done through some of the Qualcomm services that are being delivered with the XR1 chipset and also on the device. So we're very excited about that. You also might have seen our announcement today. We are the first commercialized AR device to be included in Qualcomm's Snapdragon Spaces developer program. So we're very excited to see where that takes us in the whole industry over the next several years. As you can see here too, there's an 8-megapixel camera, so doing things like remote assistance or taking video or pictures is easily doable. There are 3 microphones and stereo speakers on the device, so you can make calls very easily and do remote assistance very easily. And then you'll also notice that there's an Ergonomic Fit Kit. So the ear horns actually come off and can be replaced, the nose bridge as well, so it fits a lot of different head types. There's even a prescription lens insert for those who need it. So the A3 actually comes in 2 editions. We're focused on delivering productivity for the office worker with the A3 PC edition, and for the field and industrial worker with the A3 Industrial Edition. We've had some really good feedback on this. eWeek actually had this really interesting quote that Lenovo bringing enterprise head-mounted displays to market could result in a revolution, not only in display use, but also in PC design. And when you start thinking about how you may not need that monitor that's on the laptop because you've got multiple virtual monitors, it gets really interesting. Engadget also named us a Best of CES award as a finalist in their Best Wearables. And our user experience team did a phenomenal job and won 2 prestigious Red Dot awards. One for the Industrial Edition and how the software user interface works on a mobile phone with the glasses, and also for how it works with PCs. And there's a virtual display monitor management system that allows you to elegantly move around multiple different virtual monitors. We're really excited that Time Magazine actually nominated the A3 for one of the best inventions of the year. We'll see if we're a winner, but it was an honor just to be nominated for that, along with several other of these different accolades. So if we kind of move into, how is this helping to take on the skilled workforce? There should be sound on this.
That enhance the way you work. Guided workflows allow you to perform complex tasks, reduce repair times, and eliminate errors with step-by-step instructions or instant access to product manuals, all while your hands are free to work. When the task is complete, simply notify your manager by submitting a report to the ThinkReality platform. Optimize your workflow with ThinkReality certified solutions.
Great. So in that example, that's a 5G-enabled Motorola device that's allowing for hands-free access, guided workflow information's flowing and streaming down in real time, and you also saw that compliance of the work being performed was being tracked and being accessible by someone. We jumped the gun on this one a little bit. My bad, probably. But so that's one of the ways that we're trying to improve the workforce. Now, as we shift and go beyond enterprise AR apps that were built specifically for the A3, what you see up here is what we call Appspace. And it showcases a spatial launcher menu, as you can see here. And it actually allows for a lot of applications, Android applications, to work out of the box on the A3. So you see things like Chrome browser, the Teams application, YouTube. And we think this is going to make it easier for a lot of these applications and content and information to be accessible through what we call Appspace. One of the unique things that I actually like about this is the new user experience. So you can actually combine head gaze by looking at what you want to select and then tap the Motorola screen. You can also use it as a scroll pad, just like you would normally. And so here's a look at what Appspace looks like. This is a 2D application that's delivered in a 3D space. And so we built a menu kind of framework around these applications. In this example, you can see the Chrome web browser's pulled up. You can access YouTube content and information. And you can actually search by typing on the keyboard on the phone, which is really cool. And a lot of us know who have worked in this space or used other AR devices, sometimes it's the typing when you're wearing an AR headset that can be very painful. So it's actually quite nice to be able to type with your thumbs like you normally would. And you can also do voice search since the A3 has 3 microphones on it. So you can also pull up in Appspace, you can pull up multiple applications at once, so you can easily navigate to and from them. So in this example, you see the Chrome browser in the middle. To the left, you've got the Teams application pulled up, and on the right, there's an instructional document. The other nice thing about this is that everything's spatially aware. So you can take this content, put it up here, lock it in world space. You can go back, perform any kind of work that might need to be performed. You can look back and that information will be locked in space. It's really impressive. You can walk 20, 30 yards and still come back and it's right there. It's pretty amazing what's able to be done now. So let's shift into the A3 PC edition. This is focused on privacy, portability, and productivity for the office worker. Privacy in that only you can see what's being viewed through the glasses and these virtual monitors. Portability because you can take it with you. It folds up very easily. You can put this in a bag, right? You can even put it in your pocket, like I did coming up here today. And it allows you to be more productive because we know that more screens that we're able to work on helps us with productivity. Now, the A3 tethers into select workstation devices with dedicated GPUs. We expect to, in the very near future, open this compatibility up to all integrated GPUs, which will open up virtually all new ThinkPad devices that will be optimized for this. So we're really excited about that. It's almost there. You can have up to 5 virtual monitors. You can do tilt, you can do swivel, you can move them in and out. You can have one giant screen if you want. It's a really cool experience. Now, we'll take a look here at a video that was shot actually through the A3 device itself. And you see, in this example, there are 3 virtual monitors. In the middle here, there's a PDF. Over to the left, you've got a PowerPoint document. And what's nice is you can actually take these virtual monitors and move them around. So for example, if you want to move them closer to you, if you're viewing a document where you need to read some information, that's easily doable. And you're seeing this in 1080p resolution, which is very good quality to do work on. And the whole time you're able to see your keyboard through the glasses, you're able to see your mouse and your entire surroundings. Over to the right here, we'll pan over, and you can actually see a quick glimpse of the virtual display manager, but we're just going to focus in on opening up Chrome. You go into the YouTube video and turn that into full screen. You can actually take these screens and you could move the video over into another one. Think of it just like you would any other monitors. But our team worked really hard to build a virtual display manager that makes this an elegant type of experience. So we've talked about the workforce shortage. We've talked about how we're thinking through trying to solve some of these issues. In conclusion, we believe that the enterprise digital transformation is here, and Lenovo's in a really unique position. If you look at our core businesses within servers, within PCs, where we have #1 global market shares on enterprise PCs, with mobility and having Motorola as a subsidiary of Lenovo, our business in the cloud, and then we add in all these emerging technologies where we are very, very focused on AI, IoT, edge computing, augmented and virtual reality, which could also be looked at as another form of an edge device, and new forms of security. And so with all of this, I think we are very committed to helping solve this workforce shortage. It's massive, and we want to help companies realize their full potential and their economic output through this flexibility, through the scalability and security. So I want to thank everybody for joining me this evening. Make sure tomorrow you visit our booth. You try out the A3 yourself. You can try the PC edition and the industrial edition, and you can talk with all of our experts that are there about our total solution offerings. So and that includes customers, it includes partners. We view this as a very big ecosystem, and we're happy to talk to anyone who's interested. With that, if there's a few questions to wrap up, I'll be happy to take them.
Sounds good. Anybody have questions for Nathan?
Are you doing anything in 6.0 wireless? In terms of virtual reality, currently there's nothing on the market, but we plan to do so. It's in the making. So we definitely view that as a very big opportunity in how things are shifting. And I think right now we're finding there is actually a pretty big market in the 3DOF training, but 6DOF, yes, stay tuned.
Great. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you, Nathan. Really appreciate it. Great
Thank you.
presentation. Take
Thank
care.
you.